Hi, welcome to the new Spring Boot tutorial series. This tutorial is based on the new Spring Boot 3 version. We are taking a step further today with the one-to-one relationship in our project. We are trying to make a bidirectional relationship, a relationship that works both ways. In our project, that is users with addresses and addresses with users. But you will see later this is not that simple. The problem is not with the database, but with the REST controller in Spring Boot. Let's open Eclipse and look at the code. So, we're back in Eclipse. In the user's entity class, nothing has changed since the previous tutorial. We modified the address entity class to work bidirectional. We created the users field, with the annotation one-to-one above it. The one-to-one annotation has the following properties. Mapped by and cascade. With no other changes, we can start the project and see what happens. No errors for now. Looking briefly at the H2 console, we see no problem. Both tables are created. Address and users. Now, to Insomnia to test the project. When we send the GetUsers HTTP request, we see an empty response as expected. As you know by now, all tables are empty when starting the project. Now we can send the GetAllUsers post request. We get the expected response and no errors. But if we now send GetUsers again, server error. What went wrong? When we open the console of Eclipse, we see a series of error messages. It's the same errors repeated over and over again. The answer is quite simple. Due to the setup of both entity classes users and address. Each user has one address and each address one user, therefore we get a chain response that repeats itself every time. You can see this well on the next slide. Here you can see what is going wrong. You have a user with an address. But in this address is the same user with the same address. And the same user with the same address. This is the reason for the error message. The module that converts the data from the database to a JSON object keeps spinning around until it finally gives an error. We are back at the start of this tutorial. Now what? The solution are DTOs or data transfer objects. But this is for tomorrow. Thank you for following along. Thank you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.